it's more of a result of not being able to control the narrative. I wasn't able to control the narrative. I wasn't able to control the lawyers. I wasn't able to control my co-parenting. It was a failure of control.
And now in stereo.
What's good, everybody? What's good? Welcome back to the Lifestrong Project. And of course, you know who I am. I'm your host, AC. And this is where excellence comes in all shades. This is our space for real conversations, breakthrough moments, and the kind of raw wisdom that changes lives. We're celebrating the voices our community needs to hear, bringing you stories that don't just inspire, they transform. Big shout out to the Alive Podcast Network. The Lifestrong Project is now a member of the Alive Podcast Network. Big shout out to Angel Nicole Levis. She's the founder of the Alive Podcast Network. Appreciate her and her staff for creating this platform for amplifying these powerful conversations. All right. Whether you're grinding towards your dreams or just need to push to keep going, we've got you covered on the Alive Podcast Network. Go check us out. All right. All right. So buckle up, because today's conversation is about to hit different. All right, so our guest on today, this brother has turned surviving divorce into an art form. All right, armed with some duct tape, sarcasm, and an impressive collection of WTF just happened moments. All right, he's about to change the way men have probably viewed me. I know he's about to change how I view divorce, because I've gone through divorce. So I'm dying to hear this take on divorce. All right, but he's also he's a surviving divorce member. He's a self-proclaimed on-the-job training expert in divorce. I like how you put that. He's been through it, on-the-job training. All right. He's been divorced longer than most people have gym memberships, but he's not just surviving, he's thriving and helping others to do the same. He hosts 2 podcasts himself, and I'm gonna let him talk to you guys about that. He's also got a couple of books out there, but without further ado, I'm just go ahead and kick this thing off because I've got questions. Lifestrong family, help me welcome Mr. David Marcus Webb. What's going on, brother?
Well, I appreciate the introduction. I hope I can convey some of my knowledge to the peeps out there. Divorce is a tough subject, and the Black community needs help with that. And I love your platform reaching out to the community.
I appreciate it, man. Appreciate what you're doing for Black men. Now, I'll be honest. I wish I knew you a while back. I wish I knew you a while back, bro, because could have probably used some of your expertise.
I wish I knew myself a while back.
Hey,
there you go.
All right. So before we get into the nitty gritty, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us about David Marcus Webb, and then after that, we'll get into this topic.
All right. Well, I'm David Webb. I hail from Colorado Springs, Colorado. And yes, there are Black people in Colorado Springs, Colorado. I am a dentist. This is my 38th year. My superpower is to kill tooth decay. And my new superpower is to help people and men survive divorce. I've been podcasting since 2016. So back then, nobody knew what podcasting was. So I'm an OG dentist, and I'm an OG podcaster.
OG. Original.
Yeah, original.
Man, so let's get into this topic. And it was something you said right before you went into your intro, something the Black community needs. So I want to, of course, specifically talk about black men, of course,
Okay.
men in general, but black men, because of what you said, the necessity for men in our community, how it deals, because we have this belief, I guess, this belief that goes down generation to generation. It's like we just pass it on to other men. You power through. You don't seek help. You power, because that's a sign of weakness. At least that's how I was taught.
Correct.
And I think we're making strides in the right direction of understanding that may not have been the best, mode to deal with things. So talk about that, like, and your experience, like, here you are, self-proclaimed on the job expert, meaning you've gone through divorce, and you're going through this thing, and tell us about, your battles, things that you felt, and what this means for the Black community.
So if you look at divorce is about 50%. So 50% of marriages fail. And in the Black community, I would add another 5 to 10 percentage points on top of that. So marriage is inherently going to fail. And I hate to say that, but just one of those things. So when I started going through my divorce, my ex is the one that started it. And that's a blow to a man's ego. We're not supposed to cry. We're not supposed to get hurt, put some spit on it, put some Robitussin on it, and get up and get out there and keep playing the football game. So we are the hunter gatherers. So we have been taught and trained not to cry, not to show your feelings, and to just absorb it. And divorce is one of the hardest things to go through, close to death. But the difference between divorce and death is that death is, you die and it's over. But that divorce thing keeps giving, man. It keeps giving and it keeps giving. So you're constantly reminding of that. So from the standpoint of me getting divorced, I was telling you earlier that I had anger issues and I had to combat that. And then I was able to go to a faith-based divorce recovery seminar. And once again, men don't go to therapy. Come on, boys.
Yeah.
You therapy is not bad, but we're taught not to go to therapy, not to trust doctors. We want to go back to Tuskegee. We don't go back that far, but but we have to start trusting ourselves and trusting the systems. If you got to talk to somebody, talk to somebody. Don't think it's not as manly not to go through it all by yourself. And don't listen to the naysayers. Family sometimes is the worst. They the worst.
Be your own folk.
They the worst. Our own folk are the worst. It's gonna be okay, baby. You'll be fine. You didn't need her anyway. But there's things that we need to hear. So my suggestion is to find commonality, find a divorce group, and go through that. But it's a tough sell, AC. It's, like I said, it's one of the toughest things that I went through.
Yeah.
But then when I was able to table my anger and I finished my story here with you, is that after I saw that friend of mine at the Christmas party, I actually became a facilitator at the same divorce recovery seminar. So I was able to help others, which you learn also. So with me helping others get over their problems with divorce, I was able to help myself even more. So then I said, hey, I'm going to start a podcast. And so 2016, I started the podcast and I never looked back.
You mentioned anger. Let's talk about that, because I remember my divorce, and I remember having all kind of emotion. I remember having emotion that I probably didn't know what exactly it was. I mean, you have the emotion that you understand, the sadness, the
Correct.
hurt, the pain, even the anger. I felt things that I clearly
Yep.
didn't know. Like,
And,
and so
and some bad thoughts.
yes. And I remember one of the feelings I felt was failure.
Yes.
And And I remember that failure, me feeling like I failed at marriage. I think that transformed into a form of anger for me. You mentioned anger.
Hmm.
Who were you angry at?
Everything, everybody, and myself. It's more of a result of not being able to control the narrative. I
Mm,
wasn't able to control the narrative. I wasn't able to control the lawyers. I wasn't able to control my co-parenting.
mm.
It was a failure of control. That's what that was.
So the fact that you didn't have control, that
Yep.
just threw your whole
Pissed me off.
balance off.
Pissed me off.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Oh
I
yeah.
remember.
Yep.
Yeah, it was chaotic. I remember being feeling like I was in the midst of constant chaos. Life just, the whole thing just changed in the blink of an eye. So
Yep.
this book, interesting title. And I'm gonna tell you why it's so interesting to me. I remember going through my divorce, and they had us. We had to go through, both me and her had to go through this class, and basically during this class, they pretty much were telling us, "Hey, um, you have to, and basically in order to, it's okay to stay in a good spot with your ex." It's okay. And I remember one of them said, you have to remember that at one point, and there was something about her, or, and likewise him, there was
Mhm.
something about your partner that you loved, that attracted you. And I was
Correct.
like, okay, that's one way of looking at it. That didn't help much, but that was one way of looking at it. Thinking about it. Now, the title of this book. So basically, they were saying, hey, they were trying to say, hey, don't hate your ex. I was in the army at the time, and I remember verbally saying, because I had gotten so frustrated, I said, I hate that woman. You know what they did?
What?
They sent me to immediately, don't pass, go, don't collect $200, immediately go on down there and get you some anger management counseling. Immediately, like there was no questions asked. So 8 weeks of anger management counseling. So now the title of this book. Man, okay, so I'm gonna let you tell it
All right.
because I don't want to steal your thunder, and I want you to tell us the
Why,
title.
how, everything.
Man,
All right. AC's talking about my book. It's called It's Okay to Hate Your Ex.
it's okay.
Matter of fact, dang, I had a copy. Anyway, it's okay to hate your ex. So it's from the standpoint is okay, the hate is natural, but don't stay in that space.
Mm,
Don't camp in that space. Don't live in that space. But the hate is natural. They talk about the seven stages of grief that you go through. And I think hate's one of them. So my book, It's Okay to Hate Your Ex, it talks about, and I don't bash her. I don't bash her in the book. Matter of fact, I see a copy, AC. I do not bash her, but I talk about the hate and the disdain that you have for this woman or man, but you use that for good. You flip the script, you take that energy because hate has a lot of energy, man. You can do some hiking, you can do some biking, you can play some
mm,
pickleball, you can do anything with that hate, but you switch that hate into a positive. And every time it comes up, you just flip that script. And it's a learning experience. It doesn't happen right away. You just can't transfer hate to good, but you gotta go through it. It's almost like you gotta do the reps. You don't become a big man all of a sudden. You gotta do the reps.
right.
And that book was cathartic, and the title was a shocker. And I like the title, man.
I love the title, but when I gotta admit, when I saw it, I was like, it is.
Yeah.
I was like, it is.
Not just your ex, but friends, family. Everybody gets some. Don't just put it on your ex. It's
Mm,
okay to hate your family. It's okay to hate your friends. Hate. I think hate is a good reservoir, but the reservoir needs to be drained. You can't have the reservoir
mm,
uh, forever. There you go.
mm.
It's almost like a
Okay.
battery that has to be drained.
Hold on. I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. Giving him, giving that quiet applause. There you go. Yes. Yes.
Two
Yes.
cents.
You said. So you said you've been divorced longer than most people have gym memberships. Now,
Oh yeah,
some people don't. Some people don't. They have gym memberships, but they don't last long.
yeah,
But I'm assuming you mean people that really work out.
yeah. Oh yeah,
Okay, so you've been divorced for a while. So,
yeah.
what's been the biggest surprise about the life post divorce? Um,
So post divorce recovery, there was a couple things. You talked about going back and tell yourself, "Hey, you should have done this." Looking back as an armchair quarterback, going back and looking at those things, the one thing I did, I dated too soon. And
you know
working
what?
myself,
I I feel that. Yes,
dated
yes.
too soon. But
Immediately went into a relationship.
yeah,
Not good.
and it's always somebody familiar. I mean, like you got a carbon copy of what you just left.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that is. I think it's a universe. But I dated too soon. I needed to work on myself, but man, I had a blast. That's all I'm gonna say. I, I did it all wrong, but damn. Anyway, so fellas, don't go out there right away and
Woo.
and get after it. But and when I was doing when I was helping others through their divorce recovery,
Mhm.
every class I took helped me more. It's kind of the teachers learn from the students, and I learned more and more and more about myself, and then I was able to apply that to the book, to the podcast, and things like that. So it ain't a moneymaker, but man, I have so much. I get a joy out of helping others, even if it's a little bit. You
Right.
know, if I spend all this time and money on all this stuff, and I can help one person, then it was worth it.
Man, that's awesome. Man, kudos. We commend you for doing that because it's a necessity because man, I look, let me put this disclaimer out. This is to my wife. This was long before you, babe. This was long before you.
There you
But,
go.
but we've had those discussions. So
Yeah.
it's when you said you had a blast. I too, I had no business
Yeah.
even. I really should have taken some time, but no, I went right out there. For me, I developed this sense of, okay, fine. If that's how it's gonna be, I'm gonna get them before they get me. That was my mantra. I did some things that now, afterwards, I'm like, man, I can't believe I did that. That's not even who I am. But at the time, that's literally who I was.
I can't believe you. You're all by yourself, buddy.
We're saying that's all on you.
Man. Oh
I,
yeah.
I remember going through that, and it lasted a few years,
Yeah.
um, and now looking back, I'm like, man, why?
Yeah.
What was going on? And I think I was one of those that believed that seeking help was not on the table for me.
Yeah.
That's not an option. Um, because not only was I taught that growing up, I was also raised in the church, and
Mhm.
so not only did I get okay counseling. That's something we do. I was also taught, oh well, you can just give it to God. It'll be okay. Well, probably, but I probably need to talk to somebody in the midst
Yeah.
of giving. Like I need to, and so that's where I was, and I didn't address those things. Um, it's it's interesting though. So here you are, and maybe I misunderstood. So here you are, you get divorced, right? You go to this. this uh I don't know, this was a
Divorce
meetup
recovery.
group or
Yeah. Yeah.
okay, and then you decide to start helping people, right? Now, was there a overlap between you having fun and you helping people? 'Cause was there overlap or was that right
That
after that? Like,
that is a very good question. I think there was some overlap. Matter of fact, one of the head guys over the divorce recovery took me aside one day and he said, "David, you know you can't date any of the participants." I said, "Yeah, I know. I know." So yeah, I had a reputation, but I didn't. I didn't poop and eat the same place.
okay, all right, all
Yeah,
right.
that, that's a good question. That was a very good question. Yeah, yeah,
Woo-wee.
yeah.
He
And
said
and
he's
and
going.
and, and I had lots of opportunity. People are hurting. They do stuff, but I kept it PC, and I kept it real, and I just want to help people. Now everything else was on the table. Uh, uh, yeah, everything else on the table. Yeah, but once I got out of that,
Uh-huh.
and I worked on myself, and actually I got remarried 2.5 years ago,
Okay, congratulations.
and I found a wonderful woman, and we met dancing because I got that groove, and
Hey, I heard what you were. Hey, I heard what you were playing when you came on. Now, hold on, y'all. Of course, y'all again. Look, hey, he came on here with some Frankie Beverly and Maze, and you know what time it was. I was like, you know better than that. Now, come on, we.
before I let go. Oh yeah, that's right. But I, I tell people every woman or man you date or meet is a stepping stone to the right one.
Mm,
And sometimes you sprain your ankle on the stepping stone. Sometimes you scuff your ankle or you stub a toe, but you got to keep moving. And as long as you keep going forward, and you got to realize you're going to have good days and bad days. But it's almost like 2 steps forward, maybe 1 step back. 3 steps forward, have a step back. And time does heal a lot of wounds.
yeah.
That was the one thing for me. Time really helped me a lot.
You, so you were you in Colorado at this
Yeah.
point during all this?
Whole time,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, so and the reason I'm asking is because you mentioned that you dodged your ex like a ninja in dad jeans. Like, uh, do you still dodge her? Not saying that you're overly looking forward, looking for her, but
Not really. So we co-parented. We had 3 kids in high school. Now they're 32, 31, 29.
mhm.
And I don't see her very often, but she's in town. I commend people who can. I know people that go on vacation with their exes and stuff. I mean, crazy stuff.
Mm,
And I commend those people, but I'm not one of those people.
right,
Our lives are separate,
right,
and
right.
two parallel lines that don't meet.
But is that okay? Let me ask you this because you said you mentioned you know people that are
Yeah,
on completely opposite side of the spectrum. I remember going through my divorce and thinking I'm supposed to. I literally this is how I felt or I thought. I literally thought it was par for the course to hate her simply because we were getting divorced because that's all I
mhm.
saw. People get divorced, they hate each other. I hate her, I hate him. I remember going, I, look, bro, I remember going, the church I went to, I remember married people still going to the same church. I hate her, I hate him. Like, golly, this is crazy. Why don't one of y'all just leave? Like what is going on? So me growing up, because of what I witnessed, I immediately didn't give it a chance.
Yeah,
Now, the funny part is now, with a lot of, like you said, time heals all wounds, um, and also a lot of maturity,
yeah.
um, and a lot of therapy. We now have and my daughter is grown. She's grown,
Mhm.
you know, and we have a good relationship. But
I,
back then, I
I am
remember.
so happy for you, AC.
I'm
I
happy
am
for you,
so,
but that ain't gonna
I
happen
am
here.
so, I am so happy for you, AC. That is awesome.
Oh my! So you mentioned she filed for divorce, right?
Yeah. Twice.
Twice. Or
Okay.
twice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what happened was she filed. I convinced her to unfile, and then about a year later she filed again. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
A lot of I and don't want to get into the particulars, but I'm sure there was a lot of feelings in there. Did you ever feel the need that of course your book says you probably hated her. Because it's okay to hate her. But
Mhm.
is was there ever a moment where you forgave or said I understand or said, "Hey, you know what? All right, yeah, you filed, and I was angry, I was upset, I was pissed, but we're good. I'm good. I've healed from it."
That is a good question, AC. I'm gonna give you an answer.
Oh boy.
So I was at On the Border restaurant with some friends, and
Okay.
like I told you, all my friends are divorced. So like it's like a divorce club, and I've been divorced about 2 years, and this feeling came over me. I was like, man, I forgive her. Just all of a sudden, bam. So I'm sitting there drinking my margarita, and I said, man, I forgive her. So I got on my phone, I text her, I said, hey, I forgive you. No need for a text back. Man, she blew up my phone for a month. Trying to why? What do you mean? I just let it go. Because people don't realize that forgiveness is for you.
You, right.
For them. Yeah. But I did do that at On the Border, man. I was hanging out having a margarita. I said, it's time. And that was a big like a let go from me.
Mm,
And since then, I've been able to move on with my life and with a new wife and friends and everything. But it's a gut check, man. You were saying about failure. Men don't want to fail. That's not in our DNA.
yeah, yeah.
And that is huge failure. And I talk about all the selves. There's like self cousins. There's self-respect, self-compassion, self-care, self-realization. All those selves take a hit. I
Mm,
mean, you just shoot all the cells in the foot, and then you got to get that stuff back.
man. Okay. All right. Hey. You now you also have another book, right?
I got
You
a
also have
couple.
another book. So the titles, I'm gonna tell you, you must like go to one of those dark retreats and darkness retreats and think about these titles because they, so this one, every day is Christmas.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite book.
Every day is Christmas.
Yep.
Um, and after everything you just told us, I'm like, okay, how does someone get to the dark uh area that many black men go into during the divorce? All of a sudden they find their way to Christmas,
Yep.
like snowmen and Christmas trees and gingerbread houses, and I'm like, wait a minute, man, we were just in the dark,
Yeah.
the dark place, the sunken place. We had the whole, sunken place. We had,
All
we
right.
were there. How that I mean, that's a bold statement for someone coming out of a divorce, that
Yeah.
every day is Christmas. So how did you get from uh, the whole duct tape and sarcasm to
Mhm.
finding Christmas? Not one day, every
Every
day.
day. Oh yeah. Yeah. So that stems from number one, it takes time,
Hmm.
and number two, that relates to almost everyday life for me. That I'm that I'm fortunate to wake up and say, hey, another Christmas day. So it's almost like that movie with the guy woke up and had the same day every day till he fell in love. Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Yeah. Groundhog Day.
Groundhog Day. Yeah.
So for me, and let me backtrack. So 2 years ago, I was with a friend of mine who was also from divorce recovery, and we're hanging out, having breakfast, and I don't feel good, and and I muddle through breakfast, and I drive home, and I tell Valerie, I say, "Hey, sweetheart, I don't feel good. I'm gonna take a nap. She goes, no, what's wrong? I said, I can't get my thoughts. I'm having brain fog. So she makes me go to the hospital because I'm having a stroke.
Oh,
So she gets me there within the hour. They give me the megadose aspirin. I have 100% recovery from that standpoint of what it could have been because men are dumb and I was going to take a nap. Thank God that she was there. And you're able to see the next day. So something like that will send you a wake up. So my job is to convey that to other men and people, women, men, and say, hey, you don't have to wait to have a stroke in order to realize every day's Christmas. Because you wake up and we realize, I think we get numb to it, that we wake up, okay, another day, boom, another day. But man, you get to wake up and no 2 days are the same.
wow. Don't take the next day for granted because you
Nope.
never know.
Mm-mm.
All right. Okay. So, uh, and you mentioned that you had a blast. Let's talk about the dating scene. Talk about the dating scene after divorce. You mentioned you had a blast.
So I am a huge proponent of 5 love languages. You know about those?
I've heard of them, but educate us.
Yeah. So the 5 love languages, either you accept or give love in one of 5 ways. You give or accept gifts. You give or accept physical touch. You give or accept words of affirmation. You give or accept, there's physical touch, words of affirmation, quality time, or you give or accept
It's gifts, right?
yeah, gifts. You give or accept people do things for you.
Right.
Acts of service. Acts of service. So I'm an acts of service guy. So most of the women I met were acts of service women. So if I would go to their house and fix their swamp cooler or get their yard looking good, that was love for them. And so me growing up was to help people and we're just hanging out. We're not supposed to break the rules. We just hanging out. We just hanging out. I just got divorced. We are just hanging out. And invariably, somebody always breaks the rules. Somebody always catch that feeling. Poof, catch that feeling, man. So from that standpoint, I would last maybe a year and a half, maybe 2 years, and I just jump around like a bunny. But I left, nice yards and swamp coolers, fix swamp coolers, fix a car here and there. So I did my duty. So it wasn't all take. I gave,
Right.
yeah. But I want to tell people out there, don't jump in the fracas too soon. Work on yourself. Go get some help. Figure it out. Talk to a friend. The ladies will always be there because there's a lot of ladies out there. It's like a smorgasbord. Yeah. That's all I got to say about that, fellas.
Oh my gosh, not the smorgasbord.
That's a smorgasbord.
Woo. Okay, so you oh man, I've got to catch my thoughts here. Oh, you so you cover male health and lifestyle, right? So
Mhm.
and you've mentioned a couple of times, hey, earlier you said turn that anger into something else. Start, hiking, start working out, is that where that sprouted from? Like, did you find that during your divorce and say, I'm turning this anger into
I'm an avid, or well, when the weather permits, I like pickleball. I
Mhm.
like riding bikes, uh, road and mountain bike, and I like hiking. So those 4 things really took my time. And man, I wore some rubber out on some bikes. I wore some rubber out, and it was fun. And so when I get frustrated, I get on that bike and not to be facetious, but I did name my bike bitch. So I get on the bitch and I would ride that bitch. Not to be crude or anything, but
Oh man.
name got it.
Okay. So you looking back, would you change anything about, the your experience? You know, and you did say something about it earlier. You said that, you said something like, everybody that you meet or you date or whatever
Mhm.
get you to the right one, or but before that, during that process, is there anything that you do differently, like or is are you the one saying, nah, you know what, I had to go through everything I went through to be boom.
It's a little bit of that. I had to go through everything that I went through to get there, but there's one thing I would change. Uh, one of my survival tactics, it was at work, it was sometimes with my kids, and it
Mm,
was sometimes with friends. I would I would come from the standpoint that everybody was stupid until proven otherwise. And
mm.
that's a rough place to be. I mean, that's rough. And that was one of the things that got me through some of the hard times.
But okay, why is that harsh? Maybe, but
Harsh,
is it
harsh.
rough?
Yeah. Harsh on the other person. Not on
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There you go.
not on me. Oh, heck no. You're an idiot, so it's okay.
There-
Uh, it's totally cool. You're an idiot, but I shouldn't come at you like that. I should have
right.
an open mind and an open book and accept you as you come. But I was off the cuff. I said, "Man, you're an idiot," until they proven otherwise. But it was a way to protect my heart and my time and everything else. Now we haven't talked about co-parenting.
Mm,
Co-parenting for me was really big, and since we didn't get along, we kind of co-parented separately, which I I didn't really enjoy, but we didn't get along, and I had to accept that. So the one thing that got me through co-parenting, I had to love my kids more than I hated my ex.
mm. Man, man. Woo.
That's my mantra, baby. That got me through a
Woo.
lot of stuff because she would text me stuff. Now they got those apps. They record stuff, give it to the judge. But back then they didn't have that stuff.
Right.
The divorce app, this, that, and the other. So she'd be like, da na 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 da na 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 na. What do you think about that? I say, K,
The
yeah,
one, not the one letter answer.
K.
Hey.
Sometimes it was a capital K. Sometimes it was a small K. K, and just let it go.
Woo.
Yeah. But everything I talk about is a learned experience. You can't go like that right off the bat. You got to pay your dues. You got to go through the hard times and the good times. But once you get to this point, it ain't nothing but butter, baby.
Oh, now.
Just butter. Butter
Woo.
popcorn at the AMC theater. That's
Now,
all. You didn't realize this is gonna be so much fun, did you?
woo. I'm curious. Your kids are all grown now, right? They're all
Yep.
grown. Have any of them or all of them ever said, "Man, Dad, when you and Mom were going through y'all thing, it was really stressful or awkward or it was crazy, y'all, man." I mean, did they ever try to play peacemaker? Did they ever try to, how did that work?
They never really have because what happened was when we started the co-parenting, they were in high school. I set the stage where I didn't have no nonsense. I hate foolishness and
Mm,
nonsense. So I laid the stage. I said, hey, mommy's house is mommy's house. Daddy's house is daddy's house. So they had two separate worlds, and we've kept that two separate worlds. So we've never actually had that conversation. That was a good
mm,
question. We've never had a conversation, and I don't think we ever will because they know I'd be like, my head might turn around and spew some green pea soup, and they'd be like, "Damn, daddy, I'm sorry, I'm sorry."
oh man. Hey, so if someone's listening right now, and they're in the thick of that And you know what? I want to preface this question by saying not just divorce, but there are breakups. People,
Oh yeah,
couples have been together for
for sure.
years, and it feels like a divorce. And this show is for you guys as well. Um, but if they're going through that, they're going through a divorce, if they're going for through a major breakup, what's one or some of the things they can do today to start building themselves, their new life without going through what you went through.
Well, I go through some of my stuff, but I would say right at the beginning, just realize what you're feeling is normal, and millions of people have gone through it. You're not by yourself. You think you're by yourself. You think you're the only one going through it.
Mm,
Reach out to other divorced people if you can. Go to therapy. I mean, do the work.
yeah,
Just don't sit at home alone and wallow and think things are going to be good. Things might be good. Maybe sit at home and wallow, but if you get somebody to help you out, or you read a book, Escape Hit Your Ex, or
mm,
do something like that, just to move along, or listen to a podcast. Listen to our podcast. We talk about divorce recovery every week. Divorce Double podcast has 250 episodes,
mm.
and Dump It Scab podcast has 135. So
Man,
there's something in there that's going to help you. Just
man.
just reach out. So
So perfect segue. So to those that would like to reach out to David Webb, or listen to the podcast, or where can I find the book? Where is he at on social media?
mhm.
Can you tell the listeners how they can find you and your content?
Well, we have the two podcasts. Don't Pit the Sky podcast at www.don'tpitthesky www.don'tpittheskypodcast.com. And then there's a Divorce Devil podcast. It's for everybody. www.divorcedevil.net. And you can find us there. You can find me on YouTube. Just Google Divorce Devil or Don't Pit the Sky podcast. And there's some email on there. Just reach out to me and I'll return email sometime same day. So we look forward to hearing from you.
Awesome, awesome. So if you guys ever want, if you're going through something on those lines, a divorce, a major breakup, and you just want to, get, find some service or talk to someone that has gone through it. OJT, that's what he said. OJ, on the job training. This is the man you one of them that you should reach out to and just learn from. Divorce, it happens. Um, Not for everybody, but it can happen. And if it happens, don't listen to like you said earlier. Don't listen to family and some of your friends too. I mean, it's uh, you need to get some help. It's not for the weak. Divorce is
Yep.
definitely not for the weak, and it has crippled even the strong. So David Webb, man, we appreciate you, man. Y'all go out there, y'all support them. Listen to the podcast, buy the books. Look, look, the, the title of those books, they ain't hard to find
Not hard to find at all.
at
Trust me.
all. Y'all support them. What, Amazon? Can they find out Amazon? Where else?
Amazon, yep. And the website. Yep.
Amazon and the website. Go out there, support, buy them up, read up, learn about this stuff. If you know somebody who's been going through divorce, and hey, help them out. Point them to this brother and his platforms. All right. And you can find, his podcast wherever you listen, of course. I'm sure. Check out his books. David, I'm sorry. I shouldn't call you Dave. But David, thanks for showing us how to turn heartbreak into humor and chaos into celebration.
Oh,
All right.
definitely. And thank you for what you do for the community. Not too many brothers out there doing what you do, getting all us together and conveying our talents and expressions to people else out there. So
And I
we
appreciate
you too.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. That means that means a lot, because there are times where you think you're just
Anybody, he'll be getting on my nerves.
Oh man. Oh, listen, y'all.
We're gonna do this. Hey,
Hey.
man, this was so much fun.
Man, it was, man. Yeah, we're gonna. We'll do this again. We'll do this again, y'all.
Yeah.
We'll run it back. All right. Listener, if this conversation resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and share the Lifestrong Project with someone who needs to hear it. Your support helps us reach more people who are already to build resilient, meaningful lives. Again, it's because of you guys we're now on the Alive Podcast Network. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks for your support. Again, on behalf of David M. Webb and the Lifestrong Project, this is the Lifestrong Project. Until next time, remember, your life is fleeting. Cherish it. Your life is ever changing. You got to adapt to it. And most of all, your life is yours. Only you can live it. That's a wrap for today, people. We appreciate y'all. Peace.
Love you.
Thanks for listening to the Lifestrong Project.